All right, so this is now where we're going to incorporate some more interactivity into our sketch as far as this looping sample we have. So in the last video, we showed how we can use the current time and the duration with the map to create different ranges of numbers that we can then apply to different shapes or the movement or animation or color and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make another variable called amp. So I'm going to use the amplitude object to not only have the animation change based on where the sample is in terms of time, but also changing based on the volume. So to do this, I am going to go back into setup. So I made a variable that's going to hold my amplitude object and write amp equals and then new p5.A amplitude, open close parentheses. And then in draw, I'm going to make a variable called let. I'm going to call it VOL for volume, and then I'm going to do amp.getLevel. Okay, so I'll do a quick console.log here so we can see the volume as it will change. Remember the way the amplitude object works in the get level, it's going to give me a number between 0 and 1. 0 and 1, so it's just going to be a bunch of decimals that we see running by. But those are going to show us what the volume level is on a scale of 0 to 1. Okay, so even just scrolling through here, we can see it never really got above like 0.2. So even though we have a range between 0 and 1, a lot of samplers are not going to make it all the way up to 1. So this, again, are very low numbers. So we're going to need to scale this up quite a bit. All right, so what I'm going to do now is make my circle a little smaller, let's say like 100, and then I'm going to do plus vol times 1000. All right, so I believe I did something similar to this in another video. I'm going to do the same thing to this one here. So now as it goes around, it's also going to kind of get bigger and smaller depending on how loud the sample is. Okay, so also I forgot to change this one to 100. The circle looked a little weird to me, and that's probably why it didn't seem like a full circle. All right, so that's what we're looking for, okay? So that's one way we could do. I'm just going to very quickly, I'm going to comment this out. I'm going to just do something slightly different. The angle mode, I'm just going to leave. It's not going to affect. I'm going to go back to that scrolling ellipse for a second. So I'm going to do an ellipse here. I'm going to change this from 0 to width. Okay, so C is now going to be between 0 and width, so I'm going to make that the X position. If you go back to the last video, you kind of see what I did. I had it called T before, but I'm going to do it right, I'm going to do it at 300, so a little lower down on there. I'm going to make it maybe 30, like that. So just to go back so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so I have that circle scrolling. It's getting a little choppy because of this console.log, so I'm going to take that out of there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the ellipse kind of move up and down along with on the y-axis to go with the amplitude there. Now, I don't want to add to 300 because that's going to make it go down. So I'm actually going to do 300 minus vol times 1000 here. And then you'll see, don't need that there. And so as it scrolls across, it's also going to be kind of jittering up and down to show the volume change. All right, so there you have. I'll just do one more thing here, maybe just to make it, and you could do another variable to change the color as it moves around. Maybe the color is based on the volume as opposed to the duration of it. But I'm just going to move my background here, so it's actually going to leave a trail of ellipses as I go. So we get sort of like a pattern or a picture to kind of show the changes in that. Maybe I'll make the size of my circle just a little bit smaller. I'm going to add no fill for that, and maybe not no fill, I'm sorry, I'm going to try no stroke just so it doesn't have that outline. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll just make it like a yellow circle there. So let's see what this does. All right, so that's something. I could toy around with that a little more and maybe make it something a little more interesting. But those are the ideas where we can sort of access the volume level, we can access the duration, and just have sketches that now loop. And so we just have this constant sound going and constant visuals that go along with it. Just if you're making it to the end of this video, I am also going to include in Google Classroom this link to a folder. These are just some different drum loops. So if you want to try and upload a different drum sound, so you kind of click on there. Remember, you click up here to download. It's telling me I can't play. This one worked before. Oh, nope. So I guess I can't play them for you now. But if you go in, you can listen to them. They're just different breakbeats. So if you want to try and upload one into your sketch instead of the one that I have here, this Amen one, you're more than welcome to do that. All right. So that is this week's project, and I look forward to seeing what you share.